Hi, Judge Andrew Napolitano here, and you are on Freedom Watch with my guest and good friend and Fox News colleague, Melissa Francis, host of After the Bell on Fox Business with our buddy David Asman at 4 p.m. Eastern every day. Yeah. So I want to talk to you about President-elect Trump and what to some Republicans is picking and choosing winners and losers.
Yeah.
How do you justify, a person who believes in the free market as you do, the President of the United States picking a company like Carrier saying, I am going to redirect your investment and tell you what's better for you than what you think you should do for yourself to manage.
Okay, so I have to say that this concept has sort of exploded my brain during this election. Because in the beginning, thank you. In the beginning, when he came out against China and all this trade policy, it really, kind of smacked me in the face as something that I didn't agree with at all. I'm very much a traditional Adam Smith free market economist.
Right, but I heard you defending him.
I know, because I've come around to the point of view that's this. We didn't have free trade. We didn't have fair trade. We had all kinds of other countries imposing their own rules on our companies. We imposed nothing on them.
Right.
He's trying to reset the scales. When you get a company like Carrier that's moving jobs out, they're just adapting to how the market is right now, and they're doing the best for their shareholders, which is what they should do. He's trying to reset that balance. So he's trying to force the company to stay on one hand and threaten them with the stick. He's giving them the carrots of here's your incentive. But I believe in the next step that he's going to reset the balance and make it economically beneficial for them in the sense that they'll be closer to the end product of where they're going to sell their actual product. So they will save money on transportation. He's going to go all in on energy. So he's going to, that's been another one where it's going to be much cheaper. Sure, labor is cheaper in Mexico, but leakage is very high. I know people work there.
But aren't these decisions that the people in whom Carrier's investors have reposed their money, management, should be making? Do we elect a president of the United States to be telling management how to manage the money that's been invested with them? I don't think so.
I don't like that portion of it, but he has to speed things up in order to get jobs back right now. He can do the other things. He can cut down on regulations so it's cheaper. He can cut down on tax policy to make it better for them. He can create more energy. He can create more transportation. He can do all those kind of things. People don't want to do business in Mexico. This part's very important. 8 out of 10 products, you have 2 of them that fall off the back of the truck that never make it here. Your CEOs, your executives are getting kidnapped. They're being threatened. There's all these costs to doing business in other countries that aren't good. He has to reset the scale. So they absorb that because the cost of labor here is so high and regulation is so high.
You trust the President of the United States doing this because it's Donald Trump. Would you trust Barack Obama or somebody who is not an experienced business person or a professed lover of the free market?
You're so smart. You're absolutely right. That is the difference, is that I do believe that he's a cheap SOB, as I've said on TV before.
I think he probably agree with that.
I think he'd like hearing me say that.
Yes.
I think he understands the cost of production. He understands where in the deal he needs to come through to make it economically efficient. He also knows that over time, if he doesn't make it worth their while economically and it doesn't make sense to shareholders, it's not sustainable and it shouldn't be.
Okay, so in the case of Carrier, they were going to send 2,300 jobs to Mexico. They sent 1,300, but the troublesome one were the 1,000 blue-collar jobs in Indiana. So he calls up Carrier and says, I got a deal for you. Actually, Mike's got a deal for you. Mike being Mike Pence. A $7 million reduction in your taxes to keep these 1,000 jobs in Indiana. Didn't Mike just bribe them? Didn't he just blow a $7 million hole in the budget of his successor as governor?
First of all, this is how every state works. You know that very well. When Connecticut tries to steal jobs and companies from New Jersey, from New York, this is how it works between states. Also, if you look very closely at that deal, there were benefits they had got not to move, and then they were going to move. Mike Pence was going to claw those back. So this is the normal way that you negotiate and do business.
This is corporatism.
But, I mean, any kind of negotiation like that is going to look like a bribe. I mean, any sort of deal, you're trading money for something else. I mean, that's the nature of business.
Except that in this particular case, the governor is spending, Mike Pence, the vice president-elect, is spending money now that his successor, not yet in office, will have to recoup from where? From the taxpayers.
No. He's allowing a company to keep more of its profits. Why are we confiscating money from people or business or anyone? I hate taxes of all types. We only tax the things we want to discourage.
So if I'm Carrier in New Jersey and I want to keep more of my money, fewer of my money, my dollars going to taxes, I call up Chris Christie and I go, hey, give me some money and I won't leave. Is that the way the game is played?
You bet your ass pass
that
it is.
money comes from taxpayers.
No, it doesn't. That money comes from Carrier. That's money that they're getting a rebate on their taxes that they would be paying the local government. The government wastes our money. They're awful with it. Everybody should give them as little as possible.
You're preaching to the converted on that, but you are on government wasting money. Listen, I believe taxation is theft.
Horrible.
So I'm pretty out there
Absolutely.
on that. But for the government to pick and choose winners, how is this any different from Barack Obama picking Solyndra and giving them a $500 million break?
Well,
which we all dumped on him for doing 7.5 years ago. You remember that one?
Right, absolutely, and I agree with you on that one. I think in this case,
it's different when Trump does it.
No, it's that he's going to make the rest of the environment make economic sense. There was nothing about Solyndra that ever made any economic sense. No one was buying the cars in the end. In the end, people want the Carrier products. In the end, those are good jobs. With Solyndra, the entire thing was a hoax from start to finish.
Is the essence of your argument, then, we must tolerate some corporatism and some government interference in order to bring us to a freer free market? Is that the Melissa Francis, Donald Trump argument I'm hearing?
Yes, so, I mean, I want to hear him reset the environment to where it is a fairer, more level playing field across countries. And I think in that situation, people will choose of their own free will for their own economic benefit to keep jobs here because it makes more sense. I think the balances have gotten really out of whack because of a lot of the deal making that you're talking about. And he's trying to reset the scales.
Right.
Because the truth is they would rather do business here closer to the end product with better workers.
Okay, before we go, 2 days ago he said, $4 billion for Air Force One is too much.
Yeah.
Turns out it's $170 million for 2 of them. They are Air Force fighter jets that look like they're luxurious planes.
Yeah.
Should he cancel those orders and the government bear the extraordinary financial penalty they will pay for canceling an order on 2 planes that are halfway built?
They will not cancel it. It's all theater. None of that has anything to do with anything. What he was saying is there is a new sheriff in town, and guess what? I read the bill. I'm going to read down to the bottom line. And these other things that these bureaucrats signed off on, because it wasn't their money, it was your money. I'm not doing that. Things are just not sliding through.
All right.
I'm reading the bill.
I hope that the
everyone.
outcome of this is as optimistic and as articulate as you have painted it to be.
I believe it is, because he's a cheap SOB. Don't forget that.
Melissa, what a delight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All the best, my dear friend. From New York, defending freedom whenever they let me, Judge Napolitano. See you next week, America.